this shit ain't really working, right? So that's fine. Whatever. Um, I'm just gonna show you how I do it myself. There's obviously better ways to do it, but this is how I do it. So yeah, um, I'm gonna do it the least destructive way because there are more destructive ways to do it. But yeah. So I'm just gonna assume you know everything I'm doing. If not, you can just like look at how I do it slowly. But basically, and there's multiple ways to even do this. Just because like there's multiple ways to do Technicolor. Like throughout history, it's been done differently. But yeah. So this is gonna be our original file, and then we're just gonna create a new file so we still have an original file to move back to if we don't like it. Because otherwise, when you do this splitting of the channels, it doesn't let you go back to the original photo. Like you'd have to reopen it, and that's annoying. So, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why the actions didn't really like me doing this. So here's all the red, green, and blue. So then we're gonna split these, and then they're all gonna be seen as grayscale, which we don't want. So I'm actually just gonna, there's multiple ways to do this. I'm just gonna rename them. And the way I'm doing it, the less destructive way is better, because what I was gonna do is I was just gonna give you multiple different actions, and you could be like, oh, I like this one, I like how this one looks, because the same process doesn't work for each one, because sometimes it'll be too dark and sometimes it'll be too light. Right here, right now it's showing just that channel. But if I give you the option to like finagle it a bunch, you can kind of get it to work how you want. But yeah, it is what it is. It's just kind of weird. So the way I do it is the way that Technicolor's like Technicolor that's really famous. Like Wizard of Oz Technicolor. This is how Wizard of Oz Technicolor did it. There's technically a way you can do it that's simpler, but we're not gonna do that because I find that it's a little too light. So we're gonna go to the blue. Here. Oh, my bad. What is it? Is it? I forget what's the link? Nope. Okay. Here, we'll just do this. There's a hotkey for the clipping mask, but I always forget what it is. So blue. There. There you go. Then we'll just set these. Oh, they're already set to darken. Okay. No. Whatever. Green. So we just want to do the opposite of the color balance for them. Did it not do it? No, it did do it. I'm just stupid, right? Please, sir. Green. Yeah. So that's a little weird. So that's without messing with the... Oh, that's because this isn't set. Silly Tyler. Gray clipping mask. Red. So yeah. So that's... They should look a little different. Yeah, you see how they're a little different? So this way, this is like just like the easiest way to set it up. It doesn't look as good in this photo. It actually like mutes the yellows. But, and also, I'm only doing it with the midtones. You can do it so it's all of them. Here, I'll do it so it's all. I just did which one did I just do? That was, what did the fuck? What am I doing? Did I do shadows? Yeah. So you can do it with like the shadows too, right? which will also work. Okay, what did I just do? Blue, midtones, shadows here. Let's just say fuck it. Let's do them all. Doing them all is always, it's a little quirky. Green. Yeah. So how I do this quickly is, yeah, that's why I'm stupid. How I do this quickly. See, now it's going to be really crazy. Now it's going to be super dark. And if you do it so it's not preserved for luminosity, luminosity, you can change that setting around. But yeah, it's just finding how you want it to work. Because honestly, there are some photos, it just doesn't work at all, right? Which is fine. Here, let's see what happens if I don't preserve. And it is like, honest to God, just seeing. Yeah, so I'm going to want to preserve luminosity here. Otherwise, it's dark as fuck. And then you have the original photo. But, yeah. So I'm going to go back and actually. Yeah, so see, you can really just say, oh, fuck me up, and it'll fuck you up. Or you can do. Preserve luminosity is usually set on by default. I'd turn it off sometimes. It just kind of depends on how you're feeling. But yeah, I'm just going back to midtones, shadows. Yeah, there you go. It's actually, what did I do? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean. So now it's a little too blue, but you can mess around with it. Oh, it's because this isn't preserved. There you go. Yeah, you can mess around with it. The old way is, so you see how I set all these to darken, and I'm using the color balance. I'm using the opposite color. If you set blue to blue and instead of darken, you do lighten, it'll have kind of the same effect. But you see how when I was doing it and setting it to like where I was setting midtones, highlights, and shadows to the opposite color and not preserving luminosity, basically full setting that shit, shit goes dark fast. But if you do it the older way as in the way from the 1910s and 1920s instead of the 1930s and 1940s Technicolor, both are old as shit, but you know what I mean. If you do it the older way, it will, instead of being dark as fuck, it'll be light as fuck, which, if that's what you like, and it also depends, so the issue with this photo's contrast, or just kind of general levels, is fine. So there's no like right choice. If you have a dark ass photo, you want to do it the old way because that'll make it a little bit brighter and it'll have the Technicolor. And also, this photo's already like, because it's on a digital camera and it's green ass grass, Technicolor's not going to do much. So it's very cool, and just being able to do it and basically implement the old fashioned Technicolor digitally it's cool to be able to do that. But also in some photos it's fucking useless. So it's up to you, honestly, but the fact that you can do it and it is relatively simple is nice. If I could make this into an action, I definitely would. It's something about just shifting between tabs, and then if something's locked or trying to copy, it doesn't like copying, and instead of copying you can move it, doesn't like moving it. And even if you do try to do one of those and it likes it and something's locked, you have to unlock it, you have to unlock layers. Sometimes it does not like unlocking layers. So, but yeah, knowing how to do this, kind of based, kind of pog. Let me know if this helps at all. Yeah.